Yo, what's up? I'm Iska1_YT, and this is my guide to Roblox clanning. So, here's where I would start. So it's your first time clanning, or you like just been introduced to it recently and you're getting into it, right? It's kind of a dying community. So let's answer the first question. What are clanners? Well, clanning is a community of members that shoot TPS like with their cursor and they play multiple maps, right? So it's kind of like Valorant, right? Um, Clanning is made up of a group of communities, like so VAC, Surge, uh, TPC, I don't know, WarCom groups like that. So clanning in a whole is not just a group, but a community, right? So a group of communities, I should say, right? Okay, so now that's out of the way. What groups should you join as somebody who is starting out or trying to get better, right? So some groups I would recommend joining are like ROR. They host a lot of events for all time zones, in my opinion. They just host a lot of events in general, a lot of defensive trainings and stuff. They have their scrim division, which is DG, or their normals division, which is Sunwatch, right? You could join either one of those. And then another group you could join is Snowcore, right? Snowcore is basically the same thing, but they have their scrim division, which is BB, Black Berets. Um, I'm not sure if they're that active, but DG is definitely probably the most active with ROR. Um, the third group would probably be, what's it called? Fuck, why am I blanking? I'm actually blanking bad. Okay, let's just move on from that. So those groups, are very important groups to join because they host a lot of trainings where you can benefit from playing like every single day, like anytime, right? So there are those groups, right? And then let's break down like what the clan tiers are. So it's like first world clans, second world clans, and third world clans, right? So each like world is different, right? So first world clans are like filter groups. What are filter groups? Filter groups are groups that like filter out. Uh, it's like an entryway into the main group, right? So you have to go through sort of a academy to get to the main group, right? But even still, going through the academy, you're gonna be doing events with the main group, right? So that's really what a filter group is. So filter groups are like VAC, so and then like Surge, IAP, um, Baltar, Soul. Those are like the big filter groups right now I know of, and always will be big. I promise you. And then there are second worlds, right? So second worlds are like groups like Veilguard, um, Myth Reserve Forces, Cronian, Dynasty, let's see who else. Who else? Like I don't know. I think that's really all. There's not really a lot of second world. There's more third worlds than first worlds, right? So third worlds are like the bottom tier beginning or like just getting started clans. So those are like what's it called? Like in my opinion, like Lavendale, Empire of Asgard, Mesmer, Orion Imperium, Nightmare. So those are like some third worlds, right? Um, so that's really like all the clans, right? So now next topic. Aiming, right? So aim's really essential to your game because it's like your mouse control, right? So what I did was um I tried a bunch of different methods. So my first method was going to the the rack aim trainer right here. Let me find it real quick. Rack. So this game is currently private, I think, something like that. So this game, this is how I got better. If you look at my channel, I've made a video on it like a couple years ago. It helped me improve a lot, right? It's how I got in TNIC. It took me like 2 years to get in TNIC. I know I'm lame, fucking ass. Yeah, so that's how I got better. But after I took my hiatus, came off my hiatus like 2 months ago, I think, about 2 months ago. Um, I joined the server called Trainx, right? Trainx is owned by Truiwan. I think he's a private first class in back now. He will mentor you, and he has free resources in there. I joined that server and also the Aim Theory Discord server. I'll link those two in the comments below, right? Not comments, description, right? I'll also link the clans that I mentioned below. Some of them. Um, After that, I would also. Here's what I did for aim training. I did. Where's the thing? This is what I did. Aim 400 kg, right? It's free. You can use it. I got this from Chuiwan's Discord server, and I did these, and I got better. I went from like an average score of 2500 on medium to 4000 in 2 weeks. It's pretty good. Um, so I improved a lot. Uh, Something else I also did was play. Where is it? A old aim, uh, old aim hacks. Jesters recommended it to me, and this is why I don't play the new one because he said the new one's ass. Usually, you want to play with you want to on target, practice on targeting. So scroll all the way in, right? Then scroll out once. Press Y, U, H, right? Then press M. Change your bot. Do one bot headless, gray, camo, strafe. Boom, there you go. Right? And now you just aim, right? This helps you practice on targeting, right? So there are two different types of aiming styles, right? On target aiming and off target aiming, right? So on targeting aiming is just having your cursor on the character, right? On the person. Why does it look like this guy's teleporting, bro? Oh my goodness, I'm shitting the bed. Oh shoot, I forgot. So basically on target aiming is having your character on the cursor, right? So there's off target aiming where you angle your camera like this, right? And then you aim your cursor at their shadow, right? And it'll hit them. Hold up. Yeah, see, I don't even have my cursor on the guy, and it's hitting him. I have it on the shadow. See, usually to do it, you need to scroll out, right? I'll link somebody's video in the description. Is this Shannon's video? I think he really does good at explaining it in his video. And so that's really just all to. Actually, that's not all. I have one more thing to show you guys. So I played that, and then the Vactovian Assessment Chamber, right? So in the Vactovian Assessment Chamber, you want to what I did was you play the stages, right? You try to push your score a little bit every single day. Just push your PR, your personal record, right? So I think when I started, after my hiatus, when I came back, it was 3600, right? Starting, right? Now it's 4600. I just did this yesterday, right? So I've improved a lot in my opinion. Um, yeah, so you just use this. I play until I break my PR. That's what I do for that day, right? And then the next day you keep going. And so here's what my schedule looked like, right? Wake up, eat food, drink water. So this was a summer schedule, by the way. Eat food, drink water, right? And then I take some of my supplements like what's it called? I don't know, like fucking gummy bears and shit, right? I do all that shit. Nothing crazy, just like calcium shit, like to help your body and shit and mind. Um, yeah. And then after that, I would go play, what's it called? I would come on here, right? I would come on here, warm up, right? And then once I broke my high score, then I'll be fine. And then I would go play aim hacks, right? If there's no events going on, go play aim hacks. No events, just go play aim hacks. Keeps you warm, in my opinion. I usually played aim hacks for probably like 30 minutes a day at least. That's not 30 minutes like constant in one session, right? It's 5 minutes, go to a session, go to an event. 5 minutes, go to another event. Basically, that's what I did. And then at the very end of your day, when you think you're done playing, right? You're done with all your events, right? And you're like gonna go to bed. This is what I did. This is where I did the AIM 400 kg stuff, right? So you do medium, do switch tracking, and you do like V2 tracking, and you do elite tracking, right? 5 times, 5 reps for each one, right? So that's what I did. Yeah. So that's probably really all of AIM covered, right? So next is movement, right? Uh, Actually, this would be good representation. So for movement, watch the bot. So you see how the bot like moves back and forth, right? So usually what I do is take like 3 to 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, jump back. So you can jump back like this, or you can jump back fake like this and then come this way, right? So you just want to throw off your movement patterns, right? To fuck up the enemy so he can't aim as good, right? Or you could jump back, right? So sometimes I like to make it obvious and start walking this way, right? And then jump back, but then come back like this. And I think it works sometimes, but not as well as I thought it would. Or sometimes I would do this, right? You jump this way, then come back right away. Like touch the ground and then you come back. Or you could do some little fake spins here and there. Just when you're doing your movement patterns, try not to face like at them like this. Because look at this, your hitbox is bigger, right? And if you look at the bot does not face like that, right? So if you stand like this, it makes your hitbox smaller, right? So let's say you're like pushing ST, right? For example, and or he's pushing you, push him like this because your hitbox is smaller, right? Don't go like this because you're fucking it's gonna be easier to hit you, right? So yeah, that's really all. Um, for some back maps, there are specific back like movement text, I guess you would call it. So there's like crate jumping, donkey stacking, like monkeying, stuff like that. You can learn. Um, Sports Fan has a video on it, and I'll send it in the chat. I mean, I'll send it, put it in the description for you guys. Okay, so after that is like probably your customization for your what's it called? Your mouse, right? So depending on what mouse you have, usually I would say you want a wired mouse because the latency from your mouse and like Bluetooth is not it's not good, right? So you want a wired mouse, right? So even if you have like a Bluetooth mouse, it probably has a charger, right? So put the charger, plug it into your computer, right? The USB connection. So then you get a faster latency time, like less latency. And then after that, I would do your DPI. So everybody's DPI is like kind of a preference, right? So I know like Chenny, Dischanted plays on like 800, I think 800, 611. I play on 5600, um, 5600 211. So what I mean by 211 is, let's go to mouse. Mouse and settings. All right, so mouse and settings, right? So go to additional mouse settings, right? Go to pointers. Oh, no, pointer option, right? So this is how fast your cursor will move, basically. I have mine on 2. And you don't have to have yours on 2. Most people use 611. So it's 6, I think it's like this one right here, or this one. So pick one of those two, um, 611, and then most people range from 800 DPI to, what's it called? Uh, to 250 DPI in my opinion. Um, it's just low key a preference, right? So I used to play on high DPI. I slowly kept going down. I'll tell you my DPI before. I literally just switched to like 5600 a day. So I'll tell you my DPI before. It was 350, right? Before I started clanning, it was like 800, right? I kept it going down until I think I got to 100 before. Like I just kept wanting to get slower and slower and slower because everything just kept feeling too fast. Do not do what I did, bro. That's how you plateau. That's how you get worse. Stay on the same DPI. Like d I'm not saying you can't change your DPI, but don't change it like me because I kept going down. I went from like 500, 400, 300, 200 in like 1 week. Well, after like 3 weeks of clanning, went down so much. I don't know why. It was just a preference to me, but do not do that. And looking back on myself, I would not do that again. Right? So, yeah, yeah, it's really just all preference. Just find what you like. So here's the thing, it might take getting some time used to, right? Even if you don't like it, you should try it out. Try it out because it actually might be good for you. Also, final one thing I would like to say is you want to have fun. That's like probably the most important thing. Have fun. Um, don't be like EG proud and always be so toxic and make fun of other people, bro. Fucking hate that bitch, bro. So mean for no reason. Or like, I don't know, just don't be mean. Don't make fun of people. And like, if you think it's appropriate, laugh then. But whatever, just have fun. Don't be negative. Yeah, so also there are like people like hyper elites. So there are like tiers of players, right? Classes of players. Normals. Uh, okay, so next topic. This next topic is about game sense, right? So what is game sense? Well, game sense is like the knowledge of a map or knowledge of what to do, basically, to sum it up, really. So let's say, okay, let's say there's a guy right here, right? And clone me. Push this guy down. Let's say this guy's 50%, right? He's half health, right? And then there's nobody at gate right here. There's nobody coming up right here or there, right? And this guy's, oh, okay. So it's fucking, I don't know why it does this shit. So stupid. So let's say that guy's 50%, right? And he's by himself and nobody's pushing up, right? Right? So then, okay, if you're that kill hungry, might as well swing it. Get that pick, right? And then he's dead. Then you come back and stay here, right? So that's basically kind of what game sense is. Like the thought process of knowing what to do. Just don't be dumb. Let's say what a dumb decision would be. So, okay, let's say there's people gate, right? And term is hanger, right? Are you gonna cross by yourself or are you gonna wait for your team? So this is a dumb decision. You're gonna cross by yourself, right? That's dumb. Why would you do that? Like use your brain. Unless nobody's literally looking at you. But that's usually not gonna happen, especially on Warehouse. Um, yeah, so game sense is just kind of built through by knowing the map and just learning how to play over time, like when you should push, when you shouldn't push. Game sense is really important for leaders because it helps them lead even when they're not in the push. Like let's say you're a leader, let's like you, let's say if you're like the raid leader, right? And you're playing like gate. I mean, you're playing like this right here, right mid, and then term is right here, left mid, checkers, and you die, right? But the last thing you knew was there's two gate. They have two gate, and you have four gate, right? So what do you call? Overextend gate, right? So these guys overextend outside, kill these guys, right? And then you tell these guys to push up to kill these guys right here. And then these guys will help those guys. So that's kind of something like game sense. So just your thought process of why you do stuff, basically. That's what game sense is. Um, Also awareness. Awareness is really important because just knowing where people are and stuff. That's kind of a part of game sense too. So make sure you scroll out from time, like every time now and then, like not every like 5 minutes, but like I'd say like every 1 to 2 minutes, scroll out, look around. If there's nothing going on, you should probably scroll out. Like if there's just a stalemate, scroll out, check an area out. Like here's a good idea. Okay, let's say you guys got the first rotation into here, right? And you guys got term, right? Term's right here. Nobody's here. They're still come pushing up gate, right? What should you do? Check the hallway or just sit right here the whole time? I would check the hallway, call out for your teammates, right? And then you can come back here. So be proactive, be progressive, right? So another topic on being progressive, right? So being progressive is like, let's say I know some people have this problem, like newer players. You have, bro, this thing is, oh shoot, I would kill it. I'm gonna die. If you have it, shoot, what was I gonna say? I, I'm like having brain shit right now. Being progressive, right? So being progressive, you need to always have something out, right? Some people don't even hold anything out. They just sit on gate and just don't do anything. Like don't be that person. Do something. Be progressive. Heal your teammates. Shoot your gun. Whatever, right? Make sure you always listen to your leader too, because that's really important to winning. Because it's always the leader's fault. It's never the player's fault, in my opinion. Unless all like your players leave or some shit. It's happened a couple times. Yeah. So, um, how like for raid leaders, how I got better at raid leading was I just played more events under people. You just learn over time, and you actually gotta lead yourself, right? So where I led was in TNIC, right? So this uniform is TNIC Ghost, right? This is where I led. It took me like 2 to 3 years to get into TNIC. I led a lot of events in there for TNIC, like trying to get in. Never got in for so long. So happy when I got in. Yeah. So now right now I'm a leader for them too. Um, yeah. So basically just practicing where I wouldn't like if you're new to like leading, do not do not go lead like try to lead like a crazy event like Soul versus Surge, bro. Do not try to lead that. That's it. It's not gonna be a fun experience, and you're gonna get blamed for everything. I would say just practice in like small groups, like LARP groups. What are LARP groups? Live action roleplay groups. So like groups like the Kusa group. So like I don't know, they're like Mexicans, and then the Korean group, Core. I forget what they're called. The Korean Army thing, and then like what else? Like TNI, TNIC, um, 5NSO, TRA. Yeah, there's some places you can lead. RR, you can lead there too. Yeah, just places like that you can lead and like learn how to lead, right? Because it's not very stressful and it's not an actual scrim, right? So you get practice in, right? And it's uh basically a scrim, but with no like win loss ratio, right? Yeah. think that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, if you want stuff like this, you can also like DM me or if you have any questions, and I'll leave a comment. Bye.